Hey you. I'm getting quite used to having you around. It's Lucy Luck, and it is so good to be back. The Elden Ring DLC was released a few days ago, and I've been dying to explore some of the beautiful scenery with you. So without further ado, get comfy cozy, pop on some headphones if you like, and let's go on an adventure. Before getting the new DLC, I was working my way through a second playthrough in New Game Plus. I hadn't defeated Mohg or Radahn yet, but after swiftly taking them out with my easy mode build, I was finally given the right to caress this old hand and be transported to the land of shadow. Now, I was a little nervous when I spawned into this eerie cavern, but after a short trek, that fear quickly subsided with this incredible first view of Gravesite Plain. Well, at least until I saw this guy. Since the purpose of this video is foremost for your relaxation, we will pretend I didn't run headfirst into that fight and immediately die. This DLC has made it painfully obvious my easy mode build doesn't apply here, and there is no such thing as being over-leveled. Despite this, I did eventually get him, and progressed quite a bit through the DLC, so I can show you some of my favorite places, weapons, and outfits so far. The Shadow of the Erdtree DLC is full of some astonishingly beautiful views. The first view to really take my breath away was this cliff's edge just outside of Belurad Tower Settlement. I was under the impression this DLC would be roughly the size of Limgrave, but this view really sent home that the journey ahead would be much grander than I had anticipated. Now, the armor I'm currently wearing is a combination of pieces dropped by R'hllana and the Black Ghoul Knight from around this area. I'm sure you will also recognize Melania's helm from the base game. Unfortunately, wearing the full Solitude set makes me a bit too heavy for my playstyle, but I do want to show you what it looks like. I'll show you R'hllana's a bit later as well. But during this DLC, I've been using at least the gauntlets and Greaves of Solitude for how much protection they provide. To be honest, the Black Ghoul Knight boss was one of the most challenging mausoleum boss fights I've encountered in this game. So even if they didn't provide much protection, I'd likely still wear them out of sheer spite for how many hours I put into defeating him. But anyway, something I really love about Elden Ring is how devastatingly beautiful the game can make things that are ordinarily so haunting. For instance, the golden fields of Gravesite Plain, enveloped by these translucent spirit graves for as far as you can see. As somber of a place as it is, I can't help but admire just how stunning it is. We know the developers and artists behind this game are capable of also creating some genuinely horrifying places and bosses, but my favorite parts of this game are when they strike that perfect balance of gorgeous and grotesque. Now, please ignore the bubble around me, even though I've put an obscene amount of hours into this game. I still manage to drink my flask of Wondrous Physic on accident from time to time. But one of my favorite new weapons from this area are the backhand blades. I haven't leveled them up all the way just yet, but I love how flawless the fighting style is. is a reverse hand weapon that you can dual wield, and I love that you're able to attack while maintaining continuous movement. I love any weapon that allows you to hit fast and move fast, and there are a few great new weapons like this in the DLC. A fan favorite, for sure, is the Milady Light Greatsword. This sword delivers rapid, heavy attacks, and I personally can't wait to fully level this one. I hear the wing stance Ash of War is great with it, and I think it could be a lot of fun to play with a blood buildup infusion on it for my current build. Last but not least of my favorite weapons from this area are the Curse Blades Cirque. This is another type of backhand blade that can be dual wielded, and I'm sure you may be starting to gather that I love this fighting style very much. Of all the weapons in this DLC, this is likely one of the most fun ones to fight with. The Deadly Dance skill is so satisfying, and the weapon causes blood loss buildup. Not quite as much as the Rivers of Blood katana though, so I've been sticking to traversing with these until I encounter enemies they are useless against. Now, as promised, it's time to show you the full set of Relana's armor. To be honest, I didn't show you before because I hadn't actually bought the full set from the finger reader until now. I think the set looks super cool as a whole, but as you've seen, my favorite part is the chest piece. I just really love the way the blue drapes around the armor and cascades behind it. I think it's super flattering for female characters while actually looking like it could protect you in battle. Before we venture out of the plains here, I just have to show you something incredible that happens at night. I'm a big fan of reading as many little messages people leave around as I can, and I couldn't help but notice there were tons that said dry night in this area. So not too far from here is an area of glowing tombstones. Not only is it super cool looking, but they usually contain a larval tear. This phenomenon occurs throughout the DLC in various places at night, so be sure to keep your eye out for them. The next area I want to show you was a hell of a trek to get to, but the journey paid off. I saw so many beautiful snapshots from the area and originally tried to make my way there by heading straight south from Graveside Plain, but turns out it requires traversing through several cave systems starting at Castle Ensis. I would show you the route, but as I recall, it was a bit of a scrappy ride, so we're just skipping to the good part. Just look at all of these gorgeous blue flowers. I could spend all my time here. If I'm remembering correctly, there should be an amazing waterfall back there as well, but before we do that, I'd love to just explore the coast with you a bit. Now, I'm not sure if this is purely by coincidence or not, but every time I've been here, it usually seems to be raining. I do really love the rain, but I kind of want to see what it looks like without it, if it's possible, so I'm going to pass a bit of time to see, and it's still raining. Well, that is a-okay. I was just curious. So I want to take you to a spot near where I received one of my favorite outfits of all time in this game. I will do my best to avoid enemies along the way, but unfortunately, no matter how serene an area may appear in this game, there's rarely safety. I do enjoy the fighting in this game, but I will say it would be nice to have some safe areas, or towns even, to take a breather. I'm a big fan of Skyrim for that reason, because you can battle when you want and you can chill when you want, but it's safe to say chill is the last thing this game is intended to be. But hey, if you're new to the channel, my whole thing is playing non-traditional cozy games and making them cozy. I just happen to have my work cut out for me with this one, a bit more than some of the other games I've played. Alright, we aren't too far away now from the site of grace we'll be stopping at. Just past this river here. And thankfully it's an area relatively enemy-free, so I can show off this new outfit and weapon. Once again, I'm going to pass some time so you can see just how beautiful morning is here. Yes. The purple and blue sunrise is so extraordinary with fog. I love that there are also non-hostile creatures in this area too, just enjoying the river. Now, the outfit I want to show you comes from the mausoleum just across the water here. It's another area that can only be accessed by caves, which I unfortunately had to learn the hard way. I'm not sure why I thought my character could swim across, but you live and you learn. Now this is called the Dancer's Set. I think it's one of the most beautiful sets in the DLC and comes with the dancer's hood, dress, bracers, and trousers. The cool thing about wearing the whole set is that it enhances dancing attacks by 10%. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite give me the protection I like for boss fights, but I do enjoy wearing it while exploring. I really want to love the weapon that also comes from the boss fight in the mausoleum. The weapon skill is so cool. And I would honestly make it my main weapon if the damage was just a bit better. As far as I know, it can't be buffed or infused with Ashes of War, and unfortunately, even if it's leveled all the way up, it doesn't quite hit hard enough to do serious damage. I hear mixed things about it though. Perhaps with a higher dex build, armor with enough poise, and all of the attack power talismans, that could change. Okay, now this is completely unrelated to this area, but I've been wearing this hat with the dancer's outfit for no other reason than that I find the drip immaculate. This is Dryleaf Dane's hat and drops after a duel with him at the Morth Ruined Site of Grace. The only benefit I see with this outfit is how cool it looks, and with all of these pieces being so light, you can move fairly quickly. I'm personally not a very skilled player though, and tend to get hit a lot, so I only wear this while exploring. And I just realized I totally forgot to show you Renala's twin blades. These are super cool, and I love the moon and fire stance, but unfortunately they are better suited for an intelligence or faith build as far as I know. I actually started the base game with a faith build, but found that an arcane dex build was more within my playstyle. Alright, with show and tell out of the way, I want to see if I can get to that incredible waterfall at the entrance to the coast here. I believe there is a furnace golem on the way there. I still haven't defeated those, so I'm gonna have to book it a bit to avoid that fight. I remember feeling so accomplished after getting that first one, and you can imagine my dismay when I found out they were everywhere. But yeah, I should be able to sneak past him by hugging these trees by the wall here. I just spent 3 hours defeating Mesmer, so I am in no mood for a skilled fight right now. My cheese katanas are like fighting with toothpicks against these furnace golems. But we are just about there. I think it was around this spot that has a really pretty view of the cave. Yes. Oh, this would be such a great game to do a virtual photography video. It's been a while since I've done that. But yeah, I love the fog. Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can get a bit higher up, get a better view of the waterfall. I don't know if I can get across that water or not. It might not be too deep, but I'm a little afraid to risk it after dying so fast in the ocean. So I'm going to see if I can double jump. No. This looks kind of shallow here, so let's try this. Gosh, that waterfall is so pretty. I'm gonna climb up onto that big rock there. I don't know if there's an easy way to get on top of the actual waterfall from here, but this should be good enough before we move on to our next area. Hello, ghost. I got a little nervous thinking that was an enemy at first. I tend to get a bit trigger happy. Oh goodness, there's a lot of bloodstains around here. Did that many people really jump off here? But as I was saying, I get a little trigger happy, at least when I'm in an area I've already been fighting a lot in, so I'm ashamed to admit I have gotten scrappy with players' ghosts. Oh gosh, this is really tricky to get up here. But I really do love the feature. You can learn a lot from an area by player ghosts and these pools of blood. I don't know if that's possible, so we're gonna have to just enjoy the view from here. It is really beautiful. I'm gonna get off torrent so I don't end up falling. So pretty. Alright, the last place I want to show you are the ruins of Ra. And I do hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've done quite a few how to pronounce Google searches for this video already. YouTube is all fun and games until you pronounce something incorrectly. But I haven't progressed too far into the ruins yet because I don't want to hastily finish the main story. There are still quite a few side missions I want to complete first, but this area is just so stunning. But since I haven't wanted to go too far into the region yet, I don't have a weapon or cool outfit to show you from around here. Mostly just the views. I think I'm most excited to complete the Gravebird set, but that requires getting past the point of no return. While it doesn't provide a ton of damage negation, it does have some great resistance stats and offensive buffs. The Gravebird Black Quill armor boosts jumping attacks, while the helm empowers the Rings of Spectral Light spell. Although I don't use that spell, I do just really love the look of that armor. So, I fought a giant porcupine hippo thing down there, and I was just trying to see if it was an enemy that responds or not. Looks like we're in the clear though. So let's go on a nice ride through the vines and roots here. I just had a funny memory that I was persuaded into getting Elden Ring with the premise that 1, there's a great character creator, and 2, there's a horse. I don't think Torrent can be considered a horse, but apparently I have a reputation for loving any game with a character creator and horse-like creature. I'd like to dispel that myth right now though, because I didn't see a horse once in Baldur's Gate 3. Would that have made the game better? Maybe, but I'm perfectly content with a horseless game. With that being said, let me know what games you're playing and what you would like to see me play next. There are a ton of games for sale right now on Steam, so I'm excited to explore some new ones. I've been playing a lot of Animal Well lately, and I'm not typically big into platform games, but this one thoroughly changed my mind. It's absolutely beautiful, and the puzzles are super fun and challenging. But anyway, I'm gonna try to remember where I found this neat spot back here. I believe it drops down into the main ruins, but definitely isn't the best way to access them. I just love that you can get a great top view of the massive statue down here. So yeah, this was a super neat thing to stumble upon, but this area can also be accessed through a false wall in the ruins. If I'm remembering correctly, there were a couple items in there. I think a cookbook, and I can't remember what the other thing was. But we are getting close to concluding our adventure for the day. And I'll end things with a beautiful golden hour view of this region. If you've been a subscriber for a while, you know it's been a long time since my last upload. So I can't even begin to describe how great it feels to be back with you all. I've been struggling with illness the past couple months, but here's hoping things continue to improve. I just have to mention how much your comments on my last community post meant to me. I was absolutely bawling with gratitude for you all, and I can't thank you enough for your kindness, grace, and stories about all that we share in common. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and I'm delighted you made it to the end of this video. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Seeing your comments always brightens my day, and I do my best to respond to as many as I can. For more Comfy Cozy Club shenanigans, we also have a Discord where we play games and watch shows together, and a Patreon that helps support the channel. A special thank you to my top patrons Brayden R, Game Ender, and JT. I hope you all have sweet dreams, and I sincerely look forward to seeing you next time.